listen.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Getting on baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
All right, there is absolutely no human being on the planet I would rather be talking to more than Jonah Tong. Fact.
Wow.
Fact.
Wow. That's a tall statement right there.
It's a fact. And you know what? We've only met once. It was at the Futures game, and so many nice people in that room. But I could tell, not only are you one of the nicest and one of the most talented, but also everything that's right in the game. I'm here to build you up, Jonah, right out of the game.
I was like, whoa!
Everything is right in the game. And we just before we came on, we were talking about Peyton Tolley, and I am fascinated by the ability for young players to show personality and just be genuine. And I think that like I talked to Peyton with, it's like it's okay. It's okay. Like you're good people. You're smart people. And you have great personalities and you're just genuine. And I know that was just one time, but I've seen you talk enough. So, I don't know. I guess that's the first thing I want to ask you. Have you ever felt that way? Now, listen, you're in spring training. As the stage is bigger, there's a lot more media. But do you feel like, okay, I can still be myself?
Yeah, I think that's what the cool thing. I'll even go back to day one of me ever getting into professional baseball is everybody from the moment I started was always just saying, just be as genuine as you possibly can. Because at the end of the day, that's what got us here. And in my case, I'm going to smile a lot. You're going to see me laugh quite a bit. And I think that's just what makes me me. And that comes from my parents and my family and my friends. But I remember showing up day one of spring training. It's the exact same thing, right? I'm not gonna change because I know people don't want me to. And I think that's what helps build the culture we have going here. And that's what even some of the vets are talking about. It's just just be yourself, right? And then we'll make adjustments on the fly. Everyone's great. I can't tell you the amount of times where I've honestly been am I supposed to be am I supposed to be straight faced here? And it's just all of a sudden you have, Sean asking me, hey, you want to play Smash? It's okay, cool. Perfect.
Well, it's funny. We're doing back-to-back days. This is the same conversation, and I'm glad I'm talking to you guys about this because sometimes I take it for granted. Where I'll say it again, like Peyton said, he had never been in a major league clubhouse in spring training before, and it's weird. You show up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there's a lot of media in there, and you're probably well, I guess I'll talk to you. It's it's a weird dynamic is what I'm saying. You try to prepare yourself the best to be a major leaguer, but this is something that maybe isn't part of the checklist.
Yeah, I think dealing with all that's kind of something you get feel with as you go through it. I'll be completely honest, when I first started having to talk to people on camera, it was a little nerve-wracking. But again, it goes back to the point we made before, right? If I can be as authentic of a person as I try to be on a day-to-day basis, this, right? I enjoy these conversations and I enjoy conversations with reporters and fans and everybody because at the end of the day, I'm more interested in a human being than yeah, this conversation is great, but I enjoy connecting with people, if that makes sense.
It's so good. Oh my goodness. Thank you. And speaking of connecting, I saw because our exhaustive research for the podcast, we just went on your Instagram and looked at your story, which is, it's exhaustive. But you held up the sign for, and I don't want to do the cliche, oh, I saw this on your Instagram, so I'm going to ask you about it. But the maple syrup enthusiast thing, was that a goof or what is that true?
Hey, I'm very good at telling good maple syrup. That's one thing. It's
really
it's a Canadian thing, but I consider myself a very good person to ask if this is a good maple syrup. So.
Okay. So it's you're like my wife she's from Maryland with crab cakes. I can't eat a crab cake, and she's like, no. So someone would be like, oh, this maple syrup is delicious. No, it's not. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like sometimes like we had maple syrup here not too long. I'm like, this is a good maple syrup. Like it's from Vermont. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It is from Vermont. I like the Canadian stuff better, but like maple syrup's good, and I appreciate it. But like, yes, for me, like back home, it's always gonna be like, yes, I'm searching for this.
All right, good. So that's the point, is that you put that out there. Now I know more about you. Congratulations. And by the way, I don't want to go through like this week in baseball's and boring podcast, but yesterday we mentioned Peyton. Tomorrow, James Paxton, who,
Oh, big maple
yeah,
fan.
Canadian royalty, right?
Right there.
Right. And I actually, and I should, if I should have vetted this through you too. We have T-shirts. It says baseballs and boring in a leaf, and then it says a question mark.
That's awesome.
Well, okay, so that's what I want to make sure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
It's not offensive. No, it's not. All
Not
right.
at all. Anybody who gets offended by that, they can talk to us and we can walk them off because
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love like there's like I can't remember. I have a running joke with a lot of people. It's just say like every time I say A, it comes out. So like
So
I
you
love it.
do you
I think it's
legit
awesome.
say A? I mean, this again, that's a cliche question, but sorry.
Sorry, house,
Sorry.
A, like all of those like I've slowly started to like understand what they're saying, but like I remember like walking in and people are like, "Hey, like, where'd you guys end up living?" Like, "Oh, we got a house somewhere." And they're like, "Ah." So it's always pretty funny.
So speaking of James, and I guess I could talk to him tomorrow and tell him what you said, but a guy like that, that is not to say, see, I'm just gonna say it again, not to sound cliche, but did you look up to a guy like that? Like this is, you have people from your country that you want to look up. You are a completely different type of pitcher, everything. But when you watched him pitch, when you watch other people pitch from your country, did it hit different?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about growing up was being able to see all like different players and obviously like I love pitching, right? So I used to watch a lot of good pitchers. I didn't actually find him for a very, very long time until I think like halfway through his career and beyond. And then I slowly just started to see like one, how nasty he is. It's incredible.
Mm.
And two, just the way he represents one national pride and the kind of person he is off the field. I know like everyone calls him the true professional. And having like been able to see him get an award at like the Canada banquet this year, it was really cool to see like the impact he's not only had on baseball, but like the country as a whole. And I know like for me, like I don't think I'd have the same opportunity back home if it wasn't for guys like that, right? Because they set the golden standard and how we're supposed to act. And I think being able to like slowly just see him from afar and see what he's done is definitely made, hey, if I had a career as long as he did, I'd be pretty happy with
Well, you,
everything.
you know
So,
what you have to do? You have to get a huge maple leaf tattoo on your forearm.
you know what? Maybe for me, I'm gonna do it on my tricep or my bicep, and hopefully it'll grow bigger and bigger, so more national pride on it.
Any tattoos? Any tattoos?
My
No?
dad would kill me.
Really?
He does not like tattoos. My mom tried to get him to get one or something like that, and he's just said no. I'm also just not the biggest needle guy. I love
Yeah.
tattoos. I think they're cool, but maybe one day.
Well, I would ask you, this is a question I've asked a lot of people over the last year and a half. If you win the World Series, will you get a baseballs and boring tattoo? Right. So look, there it is.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So my co-founder Joe Kelly, we got them together after they won the World Series, and so that's led to me asking people this. I don't want to ask you this. Like, I'm not going to ask you this because I want to respect your dad and I want to respect you. You're too young. Like, I'll do it. Michael Kopech owes me one for winning last year. He's 30 years old.
Hey,
So this, you can think about it. You can think
debt
about it.
collectors coming through. You gotta next time you see him, you just gotta be like, hey, I remember.
Oh
The only
yeah.
tattoo I think I'm ever like gonna get maybe soon. I've been talking to my siblings and trying to convince them if we could do like a family tattoo, but being scared of needles, I'm just like, nah, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do
It's
that.
you don't realize, like I saw again, I have no, this was the first one. You don't realize it hurts, man. It
Yeah.
hurts. Yeah.
Well, everyone who says like the first whatever hour, if it's a 5 hour tattoo, is fine. You're good. But once the numbing cream wears off, or even
Yeah.
at night, like you're beating up. Ugh,
Yeah, and then you're trying to like not show it anyway.
yeah.
Um, well, okay, well you can get either baseball as a boring tattoo or a maple leaf tattoo. But speaking of your Canadian pride, I do want to ask you sort of about the WBC thing, like how that shook out. Was it close? What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, I really do respect the thing that they have going over there. It was a dream of mine since I was a kid. Um, Things just sometimes don't add up and line up perfectly. And Greg and Ernie were awesome through the entire process. And I just kind of took a moment to sit down and be like, coming off a season high in innings, intensity. There's a lot of things that go into it, and I just really want to make sure I'm getting ready for the season ahead. And obviously, if going to try to have a very long career, so
Yeah, you
I
get
really want to
time.
make sure. Yeah, I think that's definitely like a bucket list item, and I think when things line up, it's gonna make sense. And fortunately, it didn't this time. But hey, I have my Team Canada jersey and Team Canada, pitching ninja T-shirt I'm gonna be wearing everywhere. So I
No,
can't
no,
wait to
no.
start
You're gonna have
tomorrow.
your baseballs and boring A shirt.
If
Yeah.
I have that in my locker, I will wear the baseball isn't boring T-shirt. I can promise you
So,
that.
but did you watch, when was the first did you watch the WBC like growing up?
So the only thing I remember watching was the Mexico-Canada fight because I used to be a kid and we were like,
Oh,
oh, baseball fight, see what happened. So
oh
seeing that
yeah.
one, and then meeting some of the players through like my time growing up through it and asking them like, hey, what happened there? But no, the last one I watched was 2023 because my like one of my best friends, Mitch Bratt,
Mm.
was a starter against Team USA, and just trying to root him on, and like there's a bunch of guys that I know now from it, so I'll be definitely tuning in a lot here.
See, I was gonna, this is, when were you born? When were you born?
2003.
So I'm glad I didn't like ask you this question. I was gonna reference a WBC. I think it was probably '06, something like that. This guy, Adam Stern, he became Babe Ruth for Do you know him? Do you know Adam
Aaron?
Stern?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He runs a program out of Great Lake Canadians. Great
Oh, he
show.
does.
They
Okay.
kicked our butt every year as a
Really?
child. It was
Well, his street cred is that he literally became Babe Ruth for the WBC for like a few days. It was incredible. So anyway, but you were like 2 years old, so I don't. Yeah. So my apologies.
you know what? Give me something to ask him next time I see him.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and tell him that I told like said my top three favorite WBC moments at Adam Stern. I want to make people feel good. That'll make him feel really, really good. Um, so you talk about like you went through last year. Congratulations with everything.
Appreciate
And
it.
then you go through this off season and they sort of like you will tell you what you they want you to do, what you would want to focus on. And we had Justin Willard on, and I'm really a big fan of Justin. And that is another process where you have new people, you have new ideas and new implementation. So what are some of those new ideas and new implementation for you?
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes back to just making sure that like I'm gonna be me. I think one thing that like I don't know, it's hard for me to tell because I've been a Met my entire life. But the thing that I think we do really well as an organization is like make people better while respecting like what makes you good. For me, like that took a long time for me to like really fully understand. And then as I've gotten older and as I've, learned from more people, like I have a pretty good understanding of like who I am as a player. So then
Mm,
you're just finding things to fine tune around that, whether it's like, refining my slider, making sure that that's in zone, or how we're getting swing and miss on that, or, playing around with the curveball, making sure that's in zone more too, like stuff like that. And if it goes back to my delivery too, like I'm very open, especially to new ideas and stuff like that. So everyone's been very, very helpful. So this off season wasn't any different. It was just making sure we're ramping up accordingly.
mm,
And then I know one of my goals was just working on my slider.
mm.
I think that was a big pitch for me that I wish I had a little bit more of last year. And same thing with the curveball and making sure that's in a good spot.
This is a question that might be stupid,
And no
but
stupid questions, I
nah,
promise.
it's spring training for everybody. So, is it for your delivery, which is unique?
Yep.
Is it difficult to throw certain pitches because of your delivery? I would imagine there's pitches that you throw better because of your delivery, but I'm just thinking when you mentioned slider, like is that a thing?
The beauty I think of pitching is that it's difficult until it's not. Because at some point you're going to be able to find it. Like we, 12 years ago didn't know that a sweeper was going to be effective for most people, right? But through time and through development, we figured out that those things are going to be effective for some people. I can't say that. So I think like some things naturally are going to come easier, like my four seam, my curveball. And I never really thought I was going to be able to throw a changeup the way I do now, but
Mm.
with things like how things are innovating, I think the slider. It's kind of one of those too, where it's just like I never thought about throwing one. Not necessarily because I never really knew what it was, just because I didn't know how. But we're seeing a lot of really good progress, and I think the thing that's really cool about that is just being open to learning about it on the way and recognizing that hey, some days are going to be really good and some days aren't going to be good. But it
Mhm.
doesn't mean development's not happening.
No, it's great. Well said. And you've probably been asked this before. But when I'm a kid, I imitate players, whether it's batting stances or pitching. And I don't know if you did that and if that resulted in how you pitch, like your form. Like how does that happen? Because like you said, everybody's different,
Yeah.
and then we learn about all the stuff. But how did you land where you landed?
Yeah, I think there's definitely influences. Like everyone sees Limpscomb, and I tell the story all the time about how my dad didn't like when I was throwing sidearms, so I decided to go over the top to mess with him. But I think the thing that's cool, and I think that's not really appreciated as much growing up, and I wish I did a little bit more of that myself, is like understanding like you're never going to be as loose and free and easy than when you are as a kid. I think like taking time to appreciate that. Like my swing when I was a kid was so good because I didn't really care. And the minute I started thinking about it, that's why I've become a pitcher. So I think the more like that's how I've always really thrown is from where I am and then finding different people who throw semi similar to me and trying to emulate parts of them. But
Mm,
at the end of the day, I think what I found worked really well was when I just try to be myself and like, hey, this is Jonah. This isn't Jonah trying to be someone he's not. And that's the thing. Like whenever I see a kid or even like family, same thing as like I think the best thing that they can do from ages, you know, 1 to 17, 16 is just be themselves and see how they organize from there. Because you can make adjustments as they get older. But yeah, no, this is kind of how I've always thrown, and it's kind of developed into what it is now.
it's a testament, I think, to maybe your coaches that you've had too, because coaches maybe mean well, but they, hey, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that, because that is a little unorthodox. And it sounds like you've had good coaches and good guidance to say, hey, Jonah being Jonah, man, he's good.
Yeah, my dad did all that. A former big leaguer named Paul Spaljarek was a huge
Oh
help with that
yeah.
too. Jordan Prosper back home too. There's been a lot of people who've helped along the way, um, but they never really tried to change me. Obviously, there's certain things that like, hey, well, you can clean up your direction, or maybe try this thing and this thing. But like at the end of the day, like I love to say he doesn't really like when I talk about it, but it's like my dad knows me more than anybody. So if
Mm,
there's anybody who's going to tell me to try something, it's going to be from him, and I'm going to do it 100% of the time because he's seen me since I was a kid.
mm.
Um, and I think respecting that aspect of it and trying things has led me to be more open with conversations.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. It's also good of you to recognize that, a lot of times with your parent, like, I don't want to hear it from my parent. I want to hear it from somebody else. But you understand, like, this is a great person to hear it from. So,
He's seen me since I was a kid, and he's always the person at the end of the day, like call him up and I'll be like, hey, like, what do you think? Like, be completely honest with me. And he'll tell me, hey, it was great, or he'll say it wasn't great today. But thing that I've appreciated over the years is like those conversations. Um, and like even with both my parents, like it's the same thing. Like there's lanes, and I think there's a beautiful like relationship that we built through baseball through that, outside
mm,
of obviously like they're always my parents and I love them to death, but it's something that I try to cherish as much as possible.
that's awesome. So, just a couple more things. We talk about spring training, and one of the great things about being in a major league spring training clubhouse, besides the better per diem and the better food, is the mentorship that you get of there's a lot more time to talk to guys. You guys are hanging out, whatever it is. And I know it's only been a few days, but for you, who has sort of jumped out in that respect? Who have you really enjoyed talking to?
Yeah, I think when I first got down here, like a week later, Clay Holmes came down, so I got and talked to him a lot. Even from the get-go, like him, Sean, Petey, have been really, really kind to me, and I can't speak for Nolan, but I think he'd say the same thing, and they've kind of taken us underneath their wing. Brooks Raley's a big one. Um, I call him Pops because
Oh,
he's
he
just
must.
the man.
Oh, that must be
No,
a
he's
dagger
the
for
man.
him.
He's the man. He's
I
the man.
know.
He and like I try to look to those guys
Yeah.
specifically to just kind of like help me understand that there's a little bit of difference than that. That's okay to be asking questions. Hey, what time should I be there? What time should I get here? I know what am I supposed to do? Who do I talk to? What is this aspect of it? And like they've been nothing but awesome to me. Um, and through that experience, and also like having to talk to some of the new guys who've come through, and seeing, they have tons of years of experience, and
Mhm.
being able to recognize how valuable that resource is. Obviously, it comes with time, but those guys are something in the few. Some people I'm really excited to get to know a little bit more. Like, Weaver is a big one.
Oh,
I
he's one of our favorites, man.
Coming up, he always just seems so interesting, and I know that he's really highly talked about, especially through here. Even some people in the past, like I talk to Helsley whenever I can and talk to him about how strong and how hard he throws. So being able to just keep up with that too, and like same thing with like Gregory Soto and making sure that he knows he's the best.
You know what? I mean, like, go back to Luke. There's certain guys you just sit down. We sat down and just like, man, it's just great. It's great. So because you've got a lot of good people around you. The last thing is I'm going to loop back to an Instagram thing I saw with you, and it's the learning how to sign, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mandarin, right? From your
So,
right?
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's learning how to sign Chinese. That's
Oh,
the
Chinese. Yeah,
way
yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
my mom called me after and she said, we're Cantonese, right? And I went, oh no. I said it's Mandarin the entire time.
Oh,
So
oh, so, all right. So
it's
this is a good way to
good way to say, I'm
correct
sorry,
it.
mom. I'm sorry, grandpa. I messed up. That's on me. But yeah, no, it took me a little bit.
All
It's like,
right.
it's weird. It's like, it's Mandarin characters or kanji characters, but like we are Cantonese as a family. So it's like, I was right there, but I was just wrong.
Okay. All right. So let it be said, let it be done.
Yeah, my fault. My fault.
Cantonese,
Mom was
and
right.
but I appreciate the effort, and they should appreciate the effort as well. And so that just led me to, like, anytime I see that, I think of autographs. It's one of my favorite things to ask people, which is, a lot of people don't know how to write cursive except for their autograph. So what is your autograph solid, is what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
So people have given me a lot of advice, specifically Jack Wenninger, and our bingo staff as a whole. I would, in between innings, I would just be working on my signature, and they'd be like, "Jonah, that's terrible. Let me show you a different one." So I've been working on it. I've been adjusting it because I know it's a big thing for, like, especially collectors. It's like the appreciation for a good signature. And like I remember going to a Tops event not too long ago and seeing Griffey's signature. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, that's beautiful." But it's not because like it's not attainable. It's because he takes his time with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I try to learn as we go. And I remember the guy I was signing with said, "Hey, like the coolest signature I've ever seen is, um, I want to say his name's Wobin Cho. He's with the Cardinals.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he
Mhm.
did his name in Korean. He made sure that was his one of one. So I thought, I'm like, wow, if I have the opportunity to do that, I'm gonna do it. And I remember seeing the card come out like on my desk, and I was like, okay, give me 3 weeks. I'll come back. I'll write it. Made sure I talked to everybody about it. And I thought I messed with the last character a little bit, but I know that's something that they appreciate, especially something really cool that you can add. So I was really excited to do it, and I'm happy people were accepting of it.
Well, it's, one of the great things about doing this is that I get a chance to talk to people like you, but Torrey Hunter, this subject came up, and he said he got advice. He's like, make sure that they can read your name, because when someone gets that card, they're going to be like, they're going to remember you. Like, that's the importance of an autograph, right? They want to have a connection to you. And if they can't read it, they're like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah,
But
oh,
from
this is
Torrey
perfect.
Hunter, from Torrey Hunter, that's a good advice. Yeah. So, all right, well, t-shirts on the way, my friend. And I really
Make sure I post it on my story when I see it. Just so
Oh,
just so you know.
man! Like, listen, I really appreciate everything, and it's going to be a great year. And I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that you just keep on dominating. So,
Hey,
thanks, Jonah.
likewise, I
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. No, thank you.